Hey guys, Todd Hart. Welcome to, I don't even know what to call this because I'm actually now going to combine my podcast. I'm going to combine my Instagram TV, my YouTube channel, and I'm just going to record it as a video and then strip the audio, use that as my podcast. So welcome to all of the above because there are different segments and different people like different platforms, and some people like to take me on a walk with them, which sounds so romantic. It sounds nice. Other people like to watch a video. So I want to make sure that the content I produce can easily be transferred to other platforms so that everyone's covered. And I'm lazy. I like to do it one time if I don't have to do it 3 times. So why not do it this way? It's much easier. So someone gave me this idea the other day. Amy Pelkey, if you're listening, this is from you. You inspired this. Every podcast has a sponsor, and this podcast is sponsored by doTERRA. You all know I'm the oil guy, and I do doTERRA essential oils. So doTERRA changed my life. This is the sponsor part of the podcast. So doTERRA changed my life. I used to have incredible amount of medical issues. It was pure miserable hell. And I was introduced to doTERRA. Long story short, they're all gone. And I've been a huge fan of their company for a long time. I built a multi-million-dollar business, and I love that thing. I love the business. I love the oils, and I still do it to this day. I actually celebrate 5 years this month that I told my corporate job that I'm leaving. And I was there for almost 20 years, and I walked away. So if you're looking to learn more about essential oils, go to www.gooilguy.com, gooilguy.com. And you can fill out a form where you get my 3-part video series sent to you. Just check out that page. Everything is there. I try to make things very simple and easy. And I don't want people to feel like they've got to become an aromatherapist just to benefit from essential oils. You don't. I'll keep it very simple. So check that out. And that's the sponsor, doTERRA. So today I want to talk about emotions. You know, I'm the emotional guy. I'm the oil guy. I'm the emotional guy. For those that know me well, know me, I'm really emotional. And I was having a conversation the other day with my daughter, and I was saying, it amazes me how easily and quickly we slip into a negative emotion. Almost like it's our default. And I know it's not. And all that says to me is that we have work to do. I'm going to move my microphone closer in case you're not picking it up. It just tells me we have work to do. We have to put effort in order to elevate our mood. So, and our emotions. So something I've been playing with is I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan of law of attraction. I've got a course on it. It's how I live my life. I was invited to do last year's leadership. I spoke at leadership. I went into 90 countries, 5 languages. No big deal. And I spoke about law of attraction. That's my jam. That's how I live my life. And I think everyone should know about it because it affects what you're attracting into your life and the life that you have. So I've been playing with the emotional scale from Abraham-Hicks, and I'll introduce it to you in a second. And basically what it says is wherever you are emotionally, and I'll go through the scale later and I'll show it to you. If you then look at, let's say you're dealing with work stuff, right? I'm an entrepreneur, so it's business stuff, right? Let's say I'm dealing with business stuff, or you're an employee, you're dealing with something. Find the emotion that is prevalent and present in whatever you're dealing with. And then as you start looking at other areas of your life, the same emotion is actually going to show up there in your relationship, your job, your financial situation, your health, your whatever, on and on and on and on. It'll all be the same. So the name of this podcast, this video, whatever, is How You Do Anything is How You Do Everything. And that was a book I remember reading or seeing the title years ago, and I didn't know what the hell they were talking about. So that's what I'm naming this, because whatever emotion you're playing in or sitting in, that same emotion is playing in all of the other areas of your life. and your emotions are what you attract. That's what creates your life. It's not your thoughts. It's not your standing in front of a mirror, Stuart Smalley, I'm good enough. Josh Garnett, people like me. It's actually your emotions. So it's very important to know what you're feeling emotionally. And I'm going to talk about mindfulness later, but that's the importance of mindfulness, to understand where you're sitting in your emotions. Because if you have no idea, you're just like flying off the handle and you're like driving down the highway 100 miles an hour, blindfolded, and just, you don't care. I mean, that's essentially what it is. So let's talk about this list. I'm going to show you. This is my list, but oh my God, that green screen like flipped out with that. This isn't mine. I want to be very clear. This is Abraham-Hicks. This is their intellectual property. And if there was a link that I could give you and say, just go there and there it is, I would give it to you, but there's not. I had to actually call them and be like, hey, this is Todd. Can you send me that emotional guidance scale that Esther is talking about in her recordings? And they sent me this tiny little like PDF that when I tried to expand it, I'm like, I can't even read it. So I printed it out and it was like this little, it's as big as like this thing, and on a big 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. So I printed it out, got my reading glasses on because I'm getting old. I need reading glasses now. Side note, reading glasses. I only realized I needed reading glasses. I'm vegetarian when I brought home potato salad and it had bacon in it. And I'm like, I think I need reading glasses now. So just fun side note there. So I'm going to read to you the emotional guidance scale. It's 1 to 22. I'll read it slowly and just write it down. And then later type it out and print it out, make it pretty, laminate it, and put this, hang it on your wall. Because this is crucial. This is crucial. So I'm going to start at number 1. Number 1 is joy, knowledge, empowerment, freedom, love, appreciation. That's number 1. And remember, you can pause when you're listening to this and write it down and then hit play again. I always forget that. I'm like, they're talking too fast. Number 2. So let's go through number 1 again. Joy, knowledge, empowerment, freedom, love, appreciation. Okay. Number 2, passion. I'm laughing because my daughter and I always have, if we see someone that's very enthusiastic, even if they're like out of their minds crazy, we're like, what do they have, Sasha? Like passion. They got passion. Number 3, enthusiasm, eagerness, happiness. Remember, you can pause. Number 4, positive expectations, belief. Number 5, optimism. Number 6, hopefulness. Number 7, contentment. We're going down. At the bottom, it'll be like, hell. So we're going down. Number 7, contentment. Number 8, boredom. Number 9, pessimism. Number 10, frustration, irritation, impatience. Number 11 is empowerment. Number 12, disappointment. Number 13, doubt. Number 14, worry. Number 15, blame. Anyone else have the "Don't Worry, Be Happy" song in their head when I said worry? 15 is blame. 16, discouragement. 17 is anger. 18 is revenge. I tell you, it's getting nasty at the bottom. 19 is hatred and rage. There's a lot of people feeling that right now. Number 20 is jealousy. 21, insecurity, guilt, unworthiness. And then finally, 22, fear, grief, depression, despair, powerlessness. That's at the bottom. How many people there right now are feeling that? So how I use this chart, and you can check out Abraham-Hicks and what they teach, but I like to, when I'm going through something, if I'm feeling an emotion, and again, I'm a big mindfulness guy. I meditate. I'm very aware of how I'm feeling 99.9% of the time. And then if something's off, I'm aware that something's off and I know I need to do some work. And sometimes I'm like, I don't care. But that's tiny bits of my life. You look at what you're going through, and there's usually something that's standing out in your life that you're like, I'm not feeling so good about this. Forgive me as I take a drink. Or excuse me as I take a drink, not forgive me. So when you're going through something, let's say you're feeling fear, you're feeling depression, despair, you're at the bottom. And what you want to do is, so when you're at the bottom, every area of your life, you're going to be experiencing that emotion. And what's crucial to understand about this is that it's not the situation that is causing you to feel that way. It's you feeling that way, you experiencing that emotion that's attracting that into your life. Let me say that again, because this is crucially important. It's not the situation that is making you feel this way, that's making you experience this emotion. It's you having this emotion that's attracting these things into your life. So in other words, it's a low vibration. You're at a low vibration, and therefore you're attracting other low vibration things in, like fear, like grief, like depression, despair, powerlessness. So your job, if you choose to accept it, is you want to go up in emotions. So again, type it out, make it pretty, go on Canva, make it pretty, clouds, type it out, get a laminator. You can do this. This is on my wall, okay? This is like the only thing on my wall right now. Only thing on my wall at my office is this. Only thing. That's it. So you want to work your way up the chart. So, okay, I'm feeling fearful. I'm feeling grief. Can I find reasons in my life that are going to bring me up the chart? So I start to look around and I start to, the quickest way to get up this chart is to practice gratitude. I'm happy with I love my Teva sandals. I have Teva sandals on. I got these in Beverly Hills. They're vegan. I love wearing these. They're the most comfortable thing I ever wore. I wear them with socks. My wife makes fun of me. It's funny. I love my little studio I have here. Like, you can start with anything. I love my pen. I love my laminator. And all of a sudden, you'll start to feel differently. And there's always something good you can look at. The sun came up today. You may not be able to see it because it's cloudy, but the sun came up. It did come up. You have air to breathe. Maybe some parts of the world, the air isn't that clean, but you do have air to breathe. We have water. Maybe the water's not so clean, but you have water. There's always a positive that you can find. And you're not lying to yourself. I'm not asking you to sit here and be delusional, because sometimes things suck. However, there's always something you can look at and find. Beauty in nature. Go for a walk. The ocean is there. The ocean's pretty spectacular. Look at birds flying. Look at something that lights you up, that's going to bring you up that emotional. And all of a sudden you're feeling no longer fear. Now you're starting to feel maybe a little contentment. Maybe you're hopeful. Maybe you're starting to feel positive, enthusiastic. And you want to work your way back up the chart. If you can get to number one, fantastic. Joy, knowledge, empowerment, freedom, love, appreciation. You're going to be moving like this if you can stay there. But we're human and we're always on this roller coaster. So I'm just making people aware of this emotional guidance scale, because this has helped me tremendously during COVID, during pandemic, during politics, during what else is going on? Wasn't there a third one somewhere in there? I don't even know anymore. My God. The whole talk about vaccinations and like all of that. Like, it's like social media and just, it's incredible. It's everywhere. It's just bombarding us, and it's never going to end. It'll end when you die, but it's never going to end. There's always going to be something that you can point to and look at and be like, that, and that's going on, that's going on. You have to take ownership, and you have to be in charge of your own emotions. And so this, again, I'm going to go back to how crucial this is. Where you are on this chart is what you're attracting into your life. Okay. There's no, what do they call it? Law of assertion. There's no law. Again, Abraham-Hicks, I love them. There's no law of assertion. Nobody can assert something into your life unless you're vibrating at a level that's attracting it in. You're only attracting. There's no assertion. So keep that in mind, please. This is crucial. This should be on your wall. If there's anything on your wall, this should be on your wall. So type it, print it out, start playing with it. So this now leads to the discussion of mindfulness, because too many of us are going through life not aware of how we're feeling. And I went through a divorce and was completely lost, had no idea who I was. And I remember going to a buddy of mine, Colin, recommended a gentleman who is a yogi master. He's I don't even know what he was. I'll call him a counselor. He was a psychologist. I don't know what he was. And I remember sitting down with him, and we're just talking, and I'm talking. And all of a sudden he was like, "What was that?" I'm like, "What?" He's like, "What was that? You just said something." And I'm like, what? And that led to this technique that he did with me, for me, I don't know, that I have since turned into a micro course called Tantric Blocks Technique. And what it did was it helped me identify any emotion you have going on. You feel it somewhere in your body. And it helped me to identify this emotion that I was going through, this memory. I call it emotional blocks. Helped me identify it. It helped me to release it. But more importantly, it put me in touch with my emotions. And it wasn't right away that I was, all of a sudden I'm, this guru Todd guy, and I'm certainly not that now. But I've come a long way. And with mindfulness teaches you to kind of be aware of what's going on in your body. And it also helps you to sort of remove yourself, especially from your thoughts. A lot of people are just, I'll say everybody, our heads are like, blah, 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 blah. And with mindfulness, you kind of, where you used to think this was real, these thoughts are real, I have to take action on this, I got to do something about this. Mindfulness teaches you sort of remove yourself from it, and you become the observer. And then when these thoughts pop up into your head, you don't feel so panicky and that you have to take action on them. You're just sort of like, there they are. And I always say this, it's like watching a river, and there are leaves just floating by in the river, and you just watch it pass by. And then as soon as it's gone, another one comes, and another one. Sometimes there's a clump, sometimes there's none, but they're always there. And it's always sort of, floating by down the river. And that's what your thoughts are. That's what your emotions are. And when you can get to the point where you're the observer, it's a very peaceful place to be in. And it also helps you in life, because then when situations are happening, you don't get so caught up in it. You're just like, okay, that's going on, whatever. And it helps you to identify where you are emotionally, which is really the whole point of this conversation. Is how you do anything is how you do everything. So it's crucial to practice mindfulness. And it's as simple as really taking 15 minutes a day. And the easiest way to do it is just focus on your breathing. You breathe in, you breathe out, and you focus just on your breath coming in, breath going out. You can focus on where you feel that in your body. For me, it's my throat, and I'll just focus there, breath coming in, breath going out. Now, every 30 seconds, you got the chatter going on, and then you just sort of say, okay, I see you thinking. You can label it thinking, or if you have an emotion, you can say emotion, feeling, and then you bring it back. And it's a constant, that's why they call it a practice. It's a constant redirection. And I don't want you to think there are people, maybe there are, I doubt it though, that there are people that can just sit there for 15 minutes and never have a thought and just be purely focused on that. It gets easier. But why it gets easier is because you realize that you're not doing the thinking. you're removed from it, you're detached from it. And that's what it's teaching you to do, is remove yourself from it. And that's the important thing. That's the important thing with mindfulness. Nobody gets it perfect. You're just practicing it. But once you start to practice it, you're going to feel amazing and you're not going to get so caught up in things. So what are the takeaways? Everyone should be practicing mindfulness. I don't like to say should, don't should on me. I recommend you practice mindfulness 15 minutes a day. I'm a huge fan of the Calm app. I think if you have an American Express card, you can get it for like half price or something. Or if you don't have the money, just set your timer for 15 minutes. And I was going to say phone timer. If you don't have a phone, use your stove. Everyone's got a microwave or a stove. Set 15 minutes and just focus on your breathing. Breath in, breath out. Where do you feel it on your body? Focus there. For some, it's the stomach. Some it's the chest. Some it's the throat, back of the throat. Sometimes it's people right here, the nose. They feel the cool coming in and the warmth going out. For me, again, it's the throat. And I just focus on that for 15 minutes. Breathing in, breathing out. Thoughts come up. You can just say thinking. Emotions come up, feeling. And that's it. And then go back and then go back. And it's a constant, but it's a practice. And that's going to help you to be aware of your emotions. Because again, to go back to the beginning, it's your emotions that are attracting the things into your life. So where your emotions are is what you're attracting. That's where you're vibrating. And if no one's ever heard the term vibrating, the lower you go down on that scale of emotions, the lower the vibration, and the lower the vibration of things you're attracting into your life. We're magnets. We're magnets. Okay. Life isn't this random thing that happens. You actually control the whole damn thing. And until you decide to accept that, you're going to kind of just be frustrated. So why not try it and see what I'm talking about? It's really freaking cool. Okay. So that's it. Print out your emotional scale, practice mindfulness, start checking in with yourself throughout the day. And when you get good at it, and I'm getting good at it, you know when you're off. You'll know. And you'll immediately kind of laugh and be like, okay, I got caught up in that. And then you'll, bring yourself back and get back to what you're doing. And it's the really cool part about this is, I don't know. I feel weird saying it, but I'm going to say it. The cool part about this is that every time I go off track and I identify it and I bring myself back on track, and then I'll meditate, I'll do a little mindfulness to get me back in, or I'll work up the emotional scale. I'll do some gratitude practice to get me back up there, focused on that. Something amazing happens every single time. I'll get a sale. I'll sell a course. I'll get an email from someone. I'll get a call from someone. Every single time it happens. So I encourage you to practice this. I think I covered everything I wanted to cover. Yes, that's it. Emotional guidance scale, print it out, start practicing mindfulness. And again, the importance of this is that you're attracting every moment of every day. You're attracting. So what are you attracting? That's the question. And where your emotions are is the vibration of things you're attracting. So if you're not happy, if your life is kind of shitty, things suck, you need to work on raising your vibration. You need to work on going up that emotional scale. You need to start practicing mindfulness. And this needs to be the number one priority in your life, because this work affects everything else in your life. This should take precedence over anything else in your life. Your mindfulness practice should be the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning is meditate and practice mindfulness. First thing, before prayers, before anything else. And I've said this multiple times, because prayers can get negative real quick and you can start lowering your vibration. God bless this person. Oh, God bless that person because they're a pain in the ass. You're probably not saying that in your prayers, but you understand what I'm saying. So you want to start with mindfulness, check in. Where are you emotionally? Work yourself up that scale in the morning. Start the day positive. Focus on all the good things. Be grateful. You had a good night's sleep. Hopefully you have a good bed. You have a good pillow, whatever you got. you're laying next to someone you love. Maybe you get a little Jack Russell sleeping next to you who's really, really cute and who snores. Whatever it is, raise that vibration. And then practice mindfulness, check in with yourself throughout the day, and that's it. And if you do that, watch all of the amazing things that happen. Watch just in your business, in your personal life, the phone calls. No one calls each other anymore. The texts, the emails. That's it. That's all I got. So I'm Todd Hart. If you want to learn more, I'm going to put a link to my Tantric Blocks Technique course. And that course really is, it's a very simple course. And it just teaches you how to identify in your body what you're experiencing emotionally. And a lot of us have these emotional blocks. And it just teaches you how to identify them, release them. You don't have to know where it's from. It's just, you feel it. And we're going to teach you you'll learn how to release it. And it's teaching you how to be mindful and aware. And that's crucial in this world, to have the happiness and all the things that you want. So I'm Todd Hart. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. And again, this is all now podcast, IGTV, YouTube channel, all of the above I cover now in one shot. So thank you for tuning in. Please, everyone, stay safe and take the time to work on you. Don't worry about what other people are doing. It's not your responsibility. It's not your responsibility. You're not here for them. You're here for you. So work on you. Peace.